Hello, this is Randy Derry, and I'm going to take you through pages 20 and 21 of the ukulele how to read notes pages. So it looks like that to start with. Let's see, going over some things at the beginning. This is all about notes on the higher frets, and it'll just be on the first two strings, although you can of course play notes on the higher frets on the other two strings as well. So if you notice up at the top, we're going to start out with a chromatic scale, which means all the half steps, and in music a half step is the closest interval you can have. Well, in our standard type of European American music. And a half step is the distance between one fret and the other on a ukulele or any fretted instrument. So those are half steps. And we'll start out with a chromatic scale because oddly enough it's the easiest one, I think, in a way. The fingering is the same on all the strings. And we're going to do it like this. If you look at the first first two lines really, we'll start out with an open string. We'll do the first string first. And then there's A sharp. And up above the A sharp you see a Roman numeral 1. And Roman numerals are used to indicate where your first finger is. We call it position. I'm taking that from classical guitar terminology. So we're in first position, the first finger goes on the first fret. So therefore the second finger goes on the next fret, third finger, fourth finger. Okay? Now we're going to slide our first finger up to the fifth fret, Roman numeral 5. 2, 3, 4, and now we slide the first finger up to the ninth fret. And I used my Lanakai concert size ukulele because it's hard to play, and so your ukulele may be better, it may be worse. One way to tell about a decent string instrument is, are the notes on the frets in tune? So you might have a tuner and have that might tune as a perfect A, but when you get up here to E, it might not tune as a perfect E, and so I don't really know on this one. They're not too bad. So you might have noticed that the fingers it's all 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Slide, slide. And we're at the end of the second line. So coming down, we're still in ninth position. 4, 3, 2, 1. Now you're going to go back to fifth position, so slide your first finger back there, but your next finger you're going to actually use is the fourth finger. And then slide back to first position, fourth finger, third finger, second, first, and open. Now another thing about those is that I used sharps going up or ascending, and I used flats coming down. So you know that a note can have two names, some notes anyway. This can be A sharp, but it can also be B flat. So let's see, we had A sharp, B, C, C sharp, D, D sharp, E, F, F sharp, G, G sharp, A. And then coming down we have A flat, G, G flat, let's see, where are we here? F, E, E flat, D, D flat, C, B, B flat, A. Now the second thing I do in these pages is to do the same string, but just do a scale in the key of C. So we're going to leave out all the sharps and flats. Scale in the key of C on the A string. So we have A and then B with the first finger at the second fret, so that's second position, C. Then we slide up to fifth position for D. E is third finger, F is fourth finger, and we slide up to 10th position. 10th position. And then back to first finger, G. Then we have to slide our first finger back to 5th fret. I'm sorry for the pauses along there. I'm looking at my my first draft basically of this, and I realized I made a mistake on someplace, so I'm going to have to go back and change that. But it should be right on the copy you see. Then the next thing is the E string, the second string. So same approach, the chromatic scale. E, F, F sharp, G, G sharp, slide up to 5th position, A sharp, B, C, slide up to 9th position, C sharp, D, D sharp, E. That doesn't sound very good, does it? So now we're on the next to the bottom line. There's a Roman numeral 9 in a parentheses. That should be high E, then third finger E flat, second finger D, then D flat. Now we slide back to 5th position, C, B, B flat, A, slide back to 1st position, Now I'm going to go on to page 21. You do the same thing on there with the scale in the key of C, starting with the open E. So we have, oh, and I have a circled number 2 there. I haven't used those circled numbers much, but they're supposed to, they mean in classical guitar, a number in a circle is the number of your string. So we're on string number 2. So we have E, F, G, then in 5th position, A, B, C, then in 10th position, first finger is D and third finger is E, an octave above the open string. Back to first finger, D, then we slide back to 5th position, 4th finger is C, third finger is B, first finger is A, then back to 1st position. So now the next 2 lines are a little exercise to show you just an experience in the higher notes. So I made down here so all the notes with their stems facing down are on the 2nd string, and all the notes with the stems facing up are the 1st string notes. So it starts out with F and A, good old open A, then G and B flat, and now from here on you'll notice that your first finger is going to just stay on the 1st string, but you'll use either the 3rd finger or the 2nd finger on the 2nd string. So we slide up to 3rd position, and we get A, C, then to 5th position, B flat, 7th position, C and E, 8th position, is that right? Yeah. D, F, and then you slide up 2 more to 10th position, E, G, and then here's one we didn't have earlier, but on the 2nd string with your 4th finger at 10th position, you would have the high F. Then we come back down. I have to look here and see where I am. So 2nd line of this, G, E, which remember was the 3rd finger. Slide back a fret or two frets. Back a fret. So you can practice and get that going real fast and impress people. I can't, especially on this. And then finally, there are a couple of little songs. These aren't really very hard. It shouldn't be for you anyway. Frere Jacques, which I think we've played before, maybe in a different key though. All 1st position. Now we move up to 3rd position. So that was 3rd position, C, D, C, then to the next string with the 4th finger, and then open, A, back. Now you could perhaps argue with that idea of going to the open position. You could also play, I'll just throw in a little extra here. You could play A there and F right next to it on the 3rd string, 5th fret. Mine's out of tune, see? Then finally the Ode to Joy, Beethoven. We're on 2nd position, 2nd string, 2. Because if you played that with regular fingers, let's say you'd go 2, 3, then you'd have to stretch your little finger up here, which is not very hard, but just a little easier to do it all in one position. And there was another reason to sometimes do things in these higher positions. Did you hear I give a little, I don't know if you can hear that vibrato? You can only do that if you have a finger on the string. So I'm not very good at vibrato, but it adds some beauty to a tone. Okay, I think that's it for pages 20 and 21. The next pages, I think, are going to be aiming towards a piece I wrote called Ukulele Happy Song. So it should be on YouTube now. You can look that up and listen to it and get ready to maybe play it.